All right, what up, cleaners? Thank you for joining us and welcome to episode 15 of Outside of the Cleaner's Box, your main source for successful cleaning business entrepreneurs, broadcasting every Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard from Outside of the Cleaner's Box Facebook page. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the OOTCB content. I am Chris Vergin, solar panel cleaning expert and founder of the Solar Panel Cleaning Friends community.
And I'm Muniz from the Service Genius Lab Facebook group. Together, we're bringing you competition-beating business tips, power-packed inside tricks, and beast mode strength business advice for the cleaning industry business owners, and a little bit of our own craziness, bringing you guys along for the journey into entrepreneurship in this messy business. So join us in freeing your mind to look outside that cleaner's box. Let's get this started.
That's right. That's right. Let's get this started, Lewis. This week we were talking about a good one, pre-qualifying your customers. Are you wasting your time? Is that potential worth it? Here are some great questions asked at various stages of qualification. You can use these as starters to create your own magical list as well to pre-qualify your customers, making it easy for you to disqualify non-opportunities and engage with money opportunities. Lewis, I got a few awesome products this week. It's really awesome. Guess what we're going to be talking about this week? Just guess.
If I know you, it's probably going to be like the MoFlow.
Oh my gosh. You know what? You hit the nail on the head. We are actually going to be talking about C3D's product, the MoFlow, which is something that I really enjoy and love. So we'll be talking about this one today. We're also going to be talking about something else I use, Gorilla Ladders. And finally, we're going to be talking about the brush. It's finally fully built and put together. So the first generation of the Solar Panel Cleaning Expert brush is available. So we're going to be showing that. It's going to be a lot of fun. But before that, Lewis, how the hell are you? How's your week been?
Dude, my week has actually really been looking up. And it's kind of funny, this week's topic being about pre-qualifying your customers, because I am seeing the fruit of that in my business this week. I've been running people through a process now, refining what that process looks like. And Chris, I'm seeing some incredibly huge results come into my business that are way different from what I've been able to get in the past, because I'm implementing the strategies and the topics that we're going to be talking about here today. So I'm excited for today's topic.
Nice. Me too. I think that it's going to be a really good one. I've got a lot of different things to add to it as well, because there's a lot of different situations that I run into finding potential customers. So it's going to be a real good one. First and foremost, let's go ahead and talk about one of our sponsors. All right, Lewis, are you ready to see what cool new toys I have to show off this week?
Dude, I am stoked to see what you've been doing. I've seen some pictures you've posted. I've been hearing some chatter from you. This is going to be awesome. Let's do this, because I think these guys are going to love what you got for us today.
You know, this first one that we're going to be talking about is actually as part of the first two products. So it's an awesome one. So this one goes out to Brent Blackburn and the guys over at C3D Solutions. This is the MoFlow. This MoFlow is really awesome. Truly an awesome tool and innovation. This can be added to any brush or really any kind of anything, and make anything a water-fed, make any kind of tool a water-fed product. Let me rephrase that. Make it a water-fed tool. So that's what is really cool about this thing, is that you can add it to the brush head of your current brush and give it more flow and have more spray. It comes out at, I believe, around, it was tested in a video, I thought I saw something around 30 PSI. So it's really awesome. And I'll tell you, with this thing, I'm not done talking about it. This right here is the expert brush from Solar Panel Cleaning Friends. And it comes with two of these MoFlows. And they're really cool. I'll tell you what, you hook up your hose just straight in there, just like you would with any kind of push connector. And it's got this nice spray nozzle right here, and it sprays out in a good pattern. Now, I decided I was going to, at first I was going to only use two of these, But now I'm thinking, you know, they're so cool looking, and I haven't even plugged it in yet. But I think I want to put, you know, 4 on this. So there's a possibility I'm going to use 4 of these MoFlos. They're really, really awesome, and they're a good price. You can get them through a couple of the links that we're going to drop in the description. You can purchase them online at the C3D Solutions website. Soon you'll be able to get this at solarpanelcleaningfriends.com, because we are turning the website into an e-commerce website strictly just for solar panel cleaners, where you can get all the different kind of cleaning supplies that you need for solar panel cleaning. With that, the next one that we are going to talk about is Gorilla Ladders. And I have a little video that I'd like to share with you guys. So we'll go ahead and play that one for you guys.
I absolutely love my Gorilla Ladder. I use it every single day for my residential cleaning. Absolutely love it. It's easy to fold up and to just throw up on my shoulder and walk away. Fits snugly in my van where I like to keep it. It's got a full 26-foot reach, so I know that I can access anything. The beauty about it is I can go ahead and fold this thing to any shape I want, to how I want, to fit anything. Steps don't bother me, nothing. I love my Gorilla Ladder. I'll drop the link so you guys can go ahead and purchase your own Gorilla Ladder.
So anyways, we're back to this. That was a good one. That was a good product review right there, Lewis. That's some good stuff for this week. But our main topic for this week is pre-qualifying your customers. And boy, do we have a list. All right, so this, you know, one of the things that you come across is potential customers. And one of the things that you might end up doing is wasting a lot of time trying to convince them of purchasing your services or your products. One of the best way to go ahead and not waste that time with those types of customers, those non-opportunity customers, is by pre-qualifying them. So we're going to go over a list of 25. Let me see, is this 25? Yeah, we got a total of 25 different questions that you can ask your potential customers to go ahead and pre-qualify them and see if it's worth your time and your money. So Lewis, let's get ready with the first question. First question, all right? For what reasons are you looking to hire a new agency or company right now? What triggered your decision to hire an agency? What made this so urgent or important? These are great questions, Lewis. Mm-hmm. Great starters, because you're getting to the meat and potatoes right at the beginning of it, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
When we train our sales team here at Funnel Wave Chris, I always talk to them about using what and how, and getting the lead to answer the question. Even if you know that they want X, Y, Z thing from you, ask them, why do you want this? How is this going to affect you? How is this going to benefit you? Those kinds of things, and get them to answer. And not only will it tell you whether or not they're serious about doing business, because they'll quickly realize, well, I don't even know why I'm doing this. But also at the same time, they'll sell themselves. They have the answers. How much easier is it than that? Forget about being an awesome salesperson. Let them sell.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Is it starts out right out with that. Is, you know, that these base questions are the starter points, and they're very important, because, you know, a lot of these times they will sell themselves. So that's perfect. That's a great place to get to. Number 2, what experiences, good and bad, have you had with other agencies or cleaners? This is important. You want to ask these types of things so that you don't make a mistake. Going along with that, what do you want to be different this time around?
You know, I usually find that when I ask that question, or a variety of it, that they tell me it goes back to communication. Even if they think quality is the main thing, they just really want to stay in contact with you and understand that what you're doing has value. And if you can, and if that's the situation, then boy, howdy, do you have a great opportunity, because it's going to be really easy for you to keep that person happy.
Number 3, what results do you expect to see from your work that we do together? That's a good one. You know, asking them exactly, hey, what do you expect to see from the end of this project, or the completion of it, or of its success? What are you looking to get?
This question is really good for helping make sure that the person you're talking to doesn't have unreasonable expectations, and you will be able to tell right up front. And it's usually something along the lines of being really demanding, very pushy, or upset about what they're wanting to see from you before we've even started doing business together. All warning signs.
Correct. They're all warning signs, and as I hope I'm getting this correct. They're all warning signs of different things that can prevent you from having from either slam dunking this deal and getting the contract or completing your job here. I think that's what you're asking. At least I hope that's what you're asking. If not, then
absolutely
cut it out.
Absolutely.
Number 4, what are your company's goals?
Oh, dude, this is great, because you know what? If those people have no idea what to tell you, you need to turn around and run for the hills, because they are going to cause problems in your life.
Right. You need to, just as we're getting along here, we're getting more in depth of exactly what they expect of you, expect of the project and what they want. What are their goals? Somebody can come across you, if you're a website designer, be like, I want a website. And they can tell you, hey, kind of want a website to sell stuff. Well, they say that as a web designer, the best thing to do is go ahead and have your customer pick 3 websites that they like, so that you can narrow it down with that design of what they see in their head. So, ask them what your company, what asking your customer what their goals are, and their goals are for you are very, very important. But number 5, moving along to even something more important. What's your most important priority? What's your most urgent priority? If they're not the same, then go ahead and ask them, what will it take to focus on the most important priority, and how can the urgent priority get downgraded? Pinpointing exactly what your customer exactly is seeing in their head as the most urgent priority and the most important priority are 2 different things. Mm-hmm. Lewis, once you say that they're different, now, Lewis, why do you think that these 2 things would be so different from each other? Why aren't they on the same level?
Well, I mean, it's the same no matter what it is that you're trying to sell. Usually your customer or your client wants an outcome, and they have something in their head. And it's usually related to, like, I want this to be easier, or I want to make more money, or whatever it is. But they don't actually know what they really need. So they're going to talk to you about A, but you know that they need B. But if you ask them a question and get them talking, you can help guide them down a path where A and B intersect. They become aware that they need this other thing, and it's really what they need. And now they've sold themselves on the solution. Because when you tell people what they need, they just block you out. They'll say, no, that's not what I was talking about. I wanted A over here. And now it's all becomes really difficult.
This is exactly true. There's customers that I've come across when it comes to solar panel cleaning, and it's important for them to get their solar panels clean, but the urgent priority is the fact that they've got algae growing on the rooftop, and their rooftop needs to be cleaned because it is now unsafe to get up on their roof. So that could be a difference right there between priority and urgency within a cleaning company, and using solar panel cleaning as an example. But moving along. Number 6, what's keeping you from overcoming or meeting that challenge? So that's a good one right there. If we're going back just with that last example I used, I would ask my customer if they have their rooftop the rooftop has algae all over it. I'm slipping on it. It's now a hazard. It's not safe to get up on there. What is preventing them from having it clean? They can have me clean it. Is it because of the price?
Well, Chris, it seems to me like this is one area that ends up opening a lot of doors for opportunity when I'm working with new leads or clients, because oftentimes this will show that there's other things that need to be taken care of that help increase my perceived value. Because just like with solar panel cleaning, and I know this one happens all the time, you tell somebody, hey, I can clean your solar panels, and they say, oh, well, they don't really look that dirty, or they're dirty, but it's not bothering me. Well, right. Is the fact that they're dirty the problem, or is the fact that it's costing you significant amounts of money really what we care about? Oh, well, yeah, actually that kind of is. And then you can bring in some other areas where you educate them, you inform them, and you provide additional value. And no longer are you a guy that just does solar panel cleaning or X service, whatever that is, you are a trusted local advisor that they can turn to for more information and trust and reliability than anyone else that they have to turn to. And this is the same if you're selling websites, $20,000 packages, or you're just cleaning some windows. It's all the same thing.
Really is. Number 8, moving along. So good. Almost halfway through the list here. How well are your competitors doing? You know, as a business, this is a good thing. A cleaning business this is a good thing to go ahead and think about every now and then. How well are your competitors in your area doing? You know, I was just speaking to a guy over Facebook just the other day, and he lives just, I want to say, maybe an hour north of me. And he was telling me that he was going through a few different problems and that he couldn't get any kind of appointments this time of year. And that's because we got rain. You know, he's experiencing the same thing that I'm experiencing. So it's interesting for me to go ahead and talk to guys like that are right around me, my nearest competitors, because I'm curious what they're doing. And having that friendship, you know, kind of works, you know, for me, because I you know, can talk about what they're doing and what might be or might not be working for them. And
it seems like this is usually one area that if you're getting stonewalled with somebody, that you can use scarcity and urgency to kind of help them move along through the sales process, because maybe they're not catching anything else that you're saying, but it's like, well, your competitors are growing, or they're doing well, or that other person that you wish that you were, what is it that's different for them that you don't have? So if you're cleaning stuff, maybe it's like, well, hey, your business isn't getting as much foot traffic as this same kind of business somewhere else. How is that? Well, let's take a look at what they're doing. Looks like their place looks amazing and your place looks like crap, okay? Or if it's like with me doing a lot of B2B sales, so like cleaning businesses or whatever, we can look and say, well, these other businesses are performing well because they're doing these other things that you're not doing, and you will miss out if you don't do these things. Remember, the fear of loss is a far greater motivator than the opportunity for gain. People don't want to lose, but they will hardly move to go get more.
next one. What internal resources do you have to apply to this challenge?
I would say that this question is so powerful that if you were trying to sell me something, this is the kind of question that you would want to use, because I'm a super hard sell for anything, right? But I will buy when I know that there is value, and this can unlock people's eyes when they have an objection. So oftentimes, if you're cleaning stuff, they might say, well, I'm just gonna have one of my employees do it, or I'll do that in my spare time. Do you really have the time? Help them realize that this is just not something that's achievable, or is gonna be something that works well for them. And this also can help you identify very quickly that they're too broke to do business with you, which is one thing you always want to look out for, right?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. I didn't even think about that, but you know, selling the benefit. One of the things that I go back to is when I was younger, which, by the way, January 5th, just this January 5th, I turned 42 years old. When I was younger, in my 20s, I used to do online phone sales, which is such, you know, that was really, really hard. I was selling like cell phones or something really, really complicated like that back then. I think like Craftmatic adjustable beds. It was an awesome time in my life. But selling the benefit of what you're doing is very, very important. Having the right equipment and right tools for the job is important. With solar panel cleaning, you know, I'll have people tell me, oh no, my husband, my son, whoever gets up there and clean it, they hose it down. And that's where I explain to them that we clean with pure water. We don't use any soaps or cleaning agents. We use professional brushes, water-fed pole equipment. And this, you're right, this sells a lot of the time. A lot of time that gets, you know, that closes the deal. So very, very important. Getting back on track here. All right, number 9. Yeah, still with the competitors. Okay, number 9. What are your competitors doing that you're not and you wish you were?
This question is a great one to pose to get people to decide what it is that you're going to sell them. That's all that this question does. Because instead of trying to find the thing that they want the most, back off, let them tell you what they want and fulfill that need. That's all you got to do with that question.
It's really as simple as that, and I like it. That's why we have Lewis on here. He's the brains behind this. We'll edit that part out. Number 10, what do you want to be the best at? What do you want your company or department to be renowned for?
I think that kind of goes back to the last question we had talked about, where when they say what they want to be best for, then they're yet again selling themselves, identifying to you what it is that they would like you to do. But then when you get them to place the value on it, right? When you say, what is it that you want to be known for the most? They're usually going to come back and talk about quality. And that opens the door for you to then talk about how you can help them deliver that quality. So if you're a cleaning business and it's quality, it's usually about appearance, look, feel, the ability to have a great customer experience. And if you look like crap, it's not going to be the same kind of thing. But in general, they'll tell you what they want, and it just opens the door for you to service them with whatever it is that they said that they wanted.
Exactly. And you know what, Lewis, how important is it to you? Is it important? Because number 11, what are you willing to stake your reputation on?
My feedback, Chris, is actually a question to answer your question. And that is, if I somehow get you to say that this is the number one most important thing to your ego, then how do you feel you're going to have to spend the rest of the conversation defending your ego?
Right. That's a really good one right there, because already as a business owner, entrepreneur, or customer, or whoever you're trying to sell to, whether it's business to business or not, that person on the other line is going to have somewhat in their head that they're waiting for you just to slip up so that they can tell you no, because they're bad. So take that ego down a little bit, and exactly, you're going to find yourself probably hitting a lot more deals. That's just the nature of it. Number 13, what's your customer's acquisition cost? All right, Lewis, this is in your court, because I'm the cleaner, but I really think the best person to answer is you. So what's your customer's acquisition cost, and why are we asking that to our customers?
Oh, man.
Oh, wait. And you know what? Hold on. Before you answer that, why would we be asking this to our customers, and what kind of customers exactly would we be asking this to? I think that's important. If this is a pre-qualifying question, like, where would this come into our advantage as to who?
Yeah. Well, for this one, Chris, it seems to me like there's a couple different ways that you could use it. And so if anybody out there in the audience is interested in using this one, take down some notes, because you have to be a little bit flexible. If you are trying to take the route to get the person to realize that your service is going to help them increase their business by being more profitable, then asking this question is really great, because the person's answer is usually, I have no idea. Maybe they'll give you a ballpark, but that you can use this question to get them to realize that if they did this thing, that they would be able to charge more money for their goods or services, and they're going to make more money at the end of the day. And your thing helps make that happen. But at the same time, maybe you want to go a different route with it and get them to say, I absolutely have no idea. Well, now that opens the door again for you to be the trusted local advisor who can come in and advise them on how addressing the customer acquisition cost relates directly to why they're broke, or they're not making as much money in their business, or when they say, I can't afford your services because of XYZ reason. Well, what's your customer acquisition cost? Oh, it sounds like you're spending way too much money. What are some things that we could do to get that cost down? And then they start to say, well, I don't know. Well, what goes into getting people to buy quicker and faster and for a higher price? Oh, well, then they list off some stuff, and somehow you need to fit your thing into that conversation. Remember, keep asking questions. You want to talk about 20% of the time, let them talk 80% of the time, and just kind of steer them in the direction and let them sell themselves. You don't have to be salesy.
That's a good one right there. And that goes with our next question. Question number 14. What's your current marketing return on investment? Which is good.
Well, the reason why a cleaner might want to ask this question would be because the answer from your lead is usually going to be, I have no idea. Well, then you can say, well, what are some things that might be affecting this? And then once again, walk them through the process of diagnosing for themselves that they need your service because it's going to help them increase that ROI. So you have a dirty storefront. How do you think that's affecting people's desire to come in? Or when you're trying to close a high ticket deal, how do you feel having that mess all over your building is affecting people's perceived value of what you do? Well, then they say, well, they probably thought that we were kind of a low line institution and didn't really feel like the value was there. Oh yeah, so how would it help if we made your place look amazing? The best place in town that they could be going for this. Well, that makes some sense, right? It's all in the customer journey, but you're gonna have to educate people, but you have to do it through questions, not telling them. People do not listen when you push information. They listen when they talk and give themselves the answers. You just have to guide them there.
Nice, nice. Jeez, I'm doing really good today, so I'm glad we're recording this one. I don't know why all of a sudden we get it, we're recording it, and I was just reading something, I swear, just a minute ago, and I could read, but as soon as we start doing our meeting, I can't read. I don't know. I'm like all dyslexic or something. I don't know.
Happens all right. People.
Not to me, actually. I'm perfect and amazing. I'm just kidding. And number 15, out of all your company's departments, which one does your team most struggle working with? You know, what is the one thing that is going wrong that you're having problems with it, that you're finding an issue with, that you're failing with? Locating that issue can definitely help motivate that team to go ahead and steer them in the right direction, and can help you as well, making your job a lot easier. Identifying these problems much earlier are very, very helpful. I know in my days of designing websites, I always had to deal with clients who weren't quite sure what kind of website they wanted. So, you know, getting right down to it, exactly what is going on with them and their company, and what they're having struggles with their team, and working to get together to create their website, where they have failed, definitely helped me in my steps in creating them and completing it helped me to go ahead and make their dream a success, something like that. Yeah. It helped to make the website, man. All right, so, you know, that's that. Lewis, what about you, man?
Well, it seems to me, Chris, if I understood you correctly, that more or less tends to steer people towards realizing that outsourcing makes life a lot easier, right? Let somebody else do whatever it is that your team doesn't perform well, and know that that person can be fired at the drop of a hat, but they're going to perform better because they're specialized in that one particular thing. And that's it. That's it. It doesn't matter what it is that thing is. That's what that question does.
Solidifying why you're so important to them. I love it. Again, building up the benefit, man. Number 16, what's your department's relationship like with your sales team? This is important. You have different areas of your business depending on how big it is. You could have 2-3 people, and you can have 15, 16, 20, 25, whatever. I'm just throwing random numbers out there, but your business could be, your company could be at different levels there. And what is the relationship between the different departments and the sales team? Because the sales teams are the ones that are on the front line, as I like to call it. They're out there in the war, in the trenches, in that war, trying to go ahead and wrangle in the potential customers and bring in the money and the jobs and the work and the projects. So what's the relation between them, Lewis? How is that important? Why should we even want to talk to the salespeople? Forget them, right? The hell with salespeople. They're annoying anyways. They just want a 20% commission. So what the hell do we even care about talking to them, Lewis?
They are annoying. They are money driven, but that's what makes the business work. And when you're trying to close a deal of any kind, if you can relate it back to the fact that when you do this thing, your business is going to be able to make more money, so things get better for you. That's all that you got to do. That's why you want to drive it back to the sales team, whatever it is. That customer experience, the ability to acquire new customers, the ability to service the job, whatever. It has to go back to sales because it's all about the bottom line, right? This is America. Right. Care about the money. Show me the money.
And if you go ahead and establish that there is a problem, number 17, ask them how they think they could go ahead and improve that relationship between the departments, and the sales team. This is a good one right here because you can go ahead and establish. Come on, Lucy, be quiet. My dog is half Pomeranian, half Chihuahua, which puts together, she thinks she's just a badass. Hey! She doesn't listen to me. Hold on. Trying to record, man. All right. How could you improve these relationships, Lewis? How do we improve the relationships, or how would you go ahead and advise your customer to go ahead and improve that relationship between their team, departments, and their sales team?
And that usually goes back to communication and planning. That one can be kind of tricky, but you know, as far as a pre-qualifying question, what this does is helps you know how much of a mess that company is before you go and get in bed with them. And it's kind of like a little tell, right? Is it a dumpster fire on the inside?
Right.
You're going to have problems no matter what you do for that company. I don't care if you're cleaning the carpets or you're doing the books for them. Because I've had clients like that. If it's a dumpster fire inside, everybody that touches that business is going to have a nightmare. And you want to know that before you go and get in bed with people.
It's really is true. And you know, this is a hard one for me because I've been in a couple of different situations like this, but it really is. I can't tell you how hard it is when you do start to hear, hey, this person or that or this product or whatever has so many different issues because it can't just do whatever. So Lewis just really hit it with that one. What's your process for choosing an agency? What is your process for choosing an agency or cleaner or cleaning service or company? Great question. Have you used this process before? What worked and what didn't work? What would you do different? What would you do to get a different result? So finding these out, especially when it comes to solar panel cleaning, is important because I want to know, you know, what have they tried in the past? Where have they gone through? And I'm going to ask them when they call me, how did you find me? Did you find me through Google? What exactly did you go to my website? Very important stuff. What's your process for choosing an agency / company? Okay. Have you used this process before? What worked or didn't work? And what will you do to get a different result this time around?
Chris, this sounds like the kind of question that's going to tell you very quickly whatever it is that you have to deliver on to close this deal. What do you got to show them? Because they're telling you right up front, this is what it takes to do business with me. Simple as that. Hit those goals, close the deal, make the money, move on to the next one.
So perfect too, because number 19 is moving right along with it. And with the phone sales that I was talking about earlier that I used to do in my younger years, one of the things that we did, number 3, actually, there's 3 rules, but I'm going to go over the third one, which is simply always be closing. And number 19, getting right to it, who's involved in making decision and who signs the contract. Very, very important. Don't waste your time. If you've already asked these kind of questions and gotten right to it, I'm assuming that you've had some kind of conversation with somebody who knows what they're talking about. But it's at this point that you need to go ahead and solidify that and find out, can this person make the decision for this company? Can they say yes? Can they go ahead and agree to this? And can they sign to that contract? Because we're not wasting any more time, right, Lewis?
I don't know if there's anything else to even be said about that, Chris. You hit it so spot on.
Thank you, because that's what we're doing. And number 20, if you don't hire an agency or myself, a cleaner, or if you don't hire an agency, a cleaning company, how will you meet this challenge? What will you do? For solar panel cleaning, you know, potential customers out there, I guess it'd be like, okay, well, if you don't hire me to go ahead and clean your solar panels, are you going to get up on top of your 2-story house that looks pretty dangerous? And I'm sorry, but you don't look like, you probably shouldn't tell them that they look like they're too big to get up on the roof. But the truth is, you shouldn't be getting up on your roof at a certain point of weight. And a lot of people that I run into shouldn't be up on their roof. That's kind of a rough way to do it, but I think that makes my point, right?
Yeah.
Let's get right to it.
Whatever they say, you can just continue to ask questions until they realize, I don't have what it takes to accomplish this.
Lewis, how do your customers know that you've done your job? Because you're doing stuff to help them out online. So how do they know?
Well, this is the beautiful closing question, okay? Because when they ask that question, they're setting the goal for you once again, and then you can immediately turn around and help them understand how that's exactly what you're going to do. And now you've removed any reason for them not to do business with you. And at which point, why would they not give you some money to go do the thing that they want to have happen? And you never, it's like closing without asking for the close. It's beautiful.
It is. It totally is. Number 22, verification. If marketing doesn't improve, or let's say energy output, and your solar panels don't improve, what will it cost your company, or what will it cost your customer? Very, very important right here, because as my customers, my solar panel cleaning customers, if they don't have their solar panels cleaned, or if I do a bad job cleaning their solar panels, how much will it cost them? Well, it will cost them money, and putting that in their eyes is more of a benefit of why they should have their solar panels cleaned. Mainly because they want to go ahead and save that money, right? And nobody wants to lose money on a company. I would assume that's why your clients come to you, Louis, because they want to be ranking better online and want to be able to bring more customers and not have a waste of the marketing that they're putting out there. Is that somewhat right?
Yeah, I mean, you should come to me because what you're doing with me is a long-term investment that's going to continue to pay off for years to come. And it's the same thing with what you're doing. Here you're helping people to understand and putting a fear of loss into their minds rather than talking about the possible upside. Because once again, people will hardly move for a benefit or a gain, but we are instinctually driven to avoid loss. So when you do this, you help them understand that loss very, very quickly. And you don't have to apply a lot of pressure to help them understand how they're going to have a worse outcome if they don't do business with you in particular, because you're the person that can handle it.
Exactly. And you know, getting down here, we only have 3 more left. And if you think that this list is too long, it's not, because these are important questions. And again, this is just a starting base for you that we're going after. You guys can go ahead and create your own master pre-qualifying list that applies specifically to your business and to your customers. But these are good ones. And this next one is really, really good. Number 23, if we deliver on agreed upon goals, what's that worth to your company? Very, very important. Well, and just like the last question, is very, very important. I would say with what Louis does, and back when I was website designer, it can be very, very important to create, oh, dang it, of course I get a notification. It can be very, very important to have a good website. I know that when I had my first solar panel cleaning company, it was our website that created the first contract that we got. We scored a huge contract cleaning carport solar panels at schools before we even touched one solar panel residential or anything. And that was because we created a good website. So what is it worth to you if we do deliver on these agreed upon goals? What's it worth to your customers, Louis, your clients? What is it worth to them if you go ahead and successfully meet their goals?
Well, personally, it's worth about $1 million. If you come and do business with me, you follow what we say and we execute, because that's what my clients tend to make. If you want less, we can do less. If you want more, we can do significantly more. But when you help people like that,
there's an option. There's like an option for it. He's got it on his website, so it's really simple. If you want to make $100,000, you just click the one that says 100,000. If you want $500,000 or $1 million, he even has one for $1 billion, but it's super expensive, I think, right?
Yeah, totally, man. That's what I'm working towards, actually, is the ability to give people that kind of control in their business, because the formula for success is relatively like that. But at the end of the day, this just helps people understand your value to them, which is exactly what you want to quantify in their mind. That's usually the last thing that they need to know in order to close the deal.
Perfect. All right, well, getting to the second to the last question here. What problems do you see down the road that could obstruct or constrain us from working together? This is really, really good, because now that you've got ahead and established a lot and qualified them pretty much as a good customer at this point, you can go ahead and find out where they're seeing that they think in their mind that there might be a problem in not completing that goal or project successfully. So really, really important. Is there anything that any kind of regular questions or average questions you hear from customers that they think might stop them or might be a problem? or constrain them from you guys working together with any of your clients, Louis?
This usually goes back to communication. And the larger the project, the more communication is going to be necessary. The simpler the delivery of the thing, the more it is about just simply quality. So when you ask this question, it's going to help you to determine on like a scale, is it quality that we're going to have to focus on the most, or communication? Once again, they set the goal, so you know how to keep that particular customer happy so that the relationship will continue after the job's done.
Nice, nice. Louis, we're at number 25, and it's a good one. I like it because I think the ending a conversation, a pre-qualifying conversation, is really good to end on a cute note, as I like to call it. Number 25, what makes you lose sleep at night? What do you need so you can sleep at night? This is a good one because you can go ahead and establish, hey, how they feel, what kind of problems they might be feeling. Excuse me, my daughter started crying, it threw me off. You can go ahead and find out what is bothering them personally, because there's work stuff, there's company stuff, but there's also what they might be thinking when they get home, which might be a whole different thing. For me, I take my work home with me. And at nighttime, when I go to bed, I don't just go to bed. I don't just close my eyes and I knock out. It takes me a while to go to sleep, and sometimes my mind is racing. So, find out exactly what they're personally thinking. Get to just like I said, the meat and potatoes, and you're at the end here. You're closing them. You have qualified them. Have we not qualified them, Louis?
Heck yes, you have. This question tends to do really well with making sure that you're just solidify that relationship, that I can be somebody that you can trust, and at the same time making sure that you understand how you have to keep this person happy so that you can keep them as a trustworthy person on the inside of this organization, your advocate. If you can have one person that is in there fighting for you, they'll win your battles for you, and sales become an entirely different deal for you. So, and this is something that we do a lot at Funnel Wave when I work with larger organizations, and is something that is at the core of why we developed our bulletproof sales course. Because we found that we were bringing a massive amount of opportunity to many of our clients, but their close rate was terrible, Chris. I mean, I had one client last year I was bringing almost 100 leads a month to, but their close rate was so low that they weren't getting the return on their investment. So it made my performance look bad. I mean, you're getting lots of leads, well-qualified leads, but your sales process sucks. So we went back to the drawing board, looked at the solar panel cleaning industry specifically, and developed a sales course that focuses on how do you pre-qualify these individuals? How do you get them to sell themselves? And how do you use questions to answer the objections that they will have before they ever tell you no, so that by the time that you're done with the process, you're the trusted local advisor who's not salesy, who's not pitchy, who has applied no pressure, but has a sky-high conversion rate because everybody buys your stuff for record high prices. And that's the end result of using pre-qualifying questions in the proper way. So for those of you that are out there in the audience that are looking for some ways to help use these pre-qualifying questions, we have something special for you today. Anybody that reaches out from this podcast will get access to the first recording from a 3-part series for the Bulletproof Sales Course. I'll give you guys access to that. It's a special thing where we'll show you how to ask some of these questions. How do you approach the situation to become the local trusted advisor? And how do you do this stuff if you're not that great at sales? Because I developed this for my clients who sucked at sales, for people who will say themselves they're not the best salespeople, but they're getting record high prices, some of whom have been able to double their business or even double their average ticket price by just simply applying this process. And we're doing this for a limited time, so make sure that you let us know that you came from Outside the Cleaner's Box podcast, and we'll get you hooked up with this. And I'm Luis Muniz, and I'll see you next time.